creating the world we're now living in. We are competing in. We are repeating in. We are believing in. It's time for us to shift our mind from best in the world to best for the world. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. It creates a new world to mind a shift, intentionality, perceptuality, conceptuality. We are choosing to shift our mind to best for the world, best for our world. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional.
Okay, so welcome to Best for the World broadcast and the preparations for Earth Hour. And we're right here in the studio, and we would like to, how can I say, celebrate Earth Hour and also listen into what Mother Earth has to bring to us. And of course, we're not alone in this. With me here, I have, of course, first of all, Michael. Michael, you have been engaged in many broadcasts during this Best for the World broadcast weekend. Good to have you here, Michael.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Earth Hour countdown preparation here.
And then we have a whole series of people in a home up in Västerås. So maybe you should say hello to us.
Hello.
Hi. Great. And so please, who are you? And tell us a little bit about Västerås today.
Västerås is a very lovely place. As you might have heard, winter is coming. If you're taking the Game of Thrones type of likeness. Now we're having a really good time. We're sitting here barbecuing, having some things on the barbecue. I have prepared with some fire going in the stove just over there. So we have some heating as well during Earth Hour. So we're really prepared to do this now. We're really excited.
I suggest we have a little check-in, and if this Earth Hour is something that we really believe in, then it should be some kind of like listening in and maybe listening to what Mother Earth has to say to us. And I believe that could be a good check-in. So we are all of us here, we are in different perspectives and versions of our lives, and we are like facing both possibilities and also hurdles, and what does Mother Earth say to you right now, and are you ready to listening? Or maybe we should start with checking on, are we ready for to listen to Mother Earth? What do you say?
Yeah, we're ready.
We're ready. Who wants to start? Short check-in. You just say I'm ready, and then you're there. Okay.
I could start otherwise because I need to go out. I need to listen to the food cooking out there, so we don't burn it. And that's also for me a very important aspect of listening to Mother Earth, that we see the food that we have and are grateful for that, that we're able to eat something good together and share some common things together. Like food is very bound to the traditions and culture of all people around the world. It's one of the few things that unite everyone in one way or another. So for me, that's very important. And that's why I will probably have to step in and out of picture a couple of times just to make sure that we don't waste any food unnecessarily. Thank you.
Thank you, Rikard. Who wants to go next? Michael or Evelina, Kate, Victoria, who? Me, maybe?
Wanna go?
I don't know. I feel ready to listen at Mother Earth at least. And I'm also very grateful for having you here and all these times and everything. And I mean, that is also one aspect in listening to Mother Earth and also ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe we are. If I can go then after you, then and check in on that. And I believe we as humans are an essential part of Mother Earth. I've seen those movies where they say that Mother Earth can live without humans. Of course, maybe it can, but I would say it's a richer place with more species and more individuals and more collective wisdom and so on. So at least I believe for myself at least that I'm important for Mother Earth, and I am in that sense also what I would need to listen to. If I listen to myself, I also listen to Mother Earth in some sense.
Really good.
Who wants to go next?
I can go next. I love to grow things, which is very connected to Earth. So now when it's springtime, both listening outside is wonderful right now with all the birds. And today we had a lot of wind, which also can tell us a lot. And right now we're preparing a lot of plants to take out eventually when it's warmer during the night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Who wants to go next?
I can go next then.
Okay.
So yeah, I think for me, Mother Earth is a fantastic place, and our human part in it is also fantastic because we are part of a learning universe, and the universe evolved life so that life can learn about itself, and then we evolved a part of this so we can learn about the universe. So we are the part of the universe learning about itself. Some say we observe the universe, but I think the better metaphor and the better story is that we learn. And it's been a learning journey, and it doesn't end here. It will continue for millions of years to come, the learning journey, and we will be part of it. And the things we do today will set up the biosphere to support a learning journey for a long, long, long time. So it's very important how we treat the biosphere right now.
Thank you. Kate, do you want to check in also? Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, of course. So I am really grateful to be here. It's my first time. You said about universe, it's right. Universe is unpredictable to every person. I just the few days met so many nice people. It's really it's really good atmosphere and nice and friendly people. So it's very good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story at the same time when the world is in like on fire, and that's so odd because there are so many perspectives and perceptions that are coexisting, and I really firmly believe that what we focus on will grow at some. We nourish that, and if we nourish the life affirming habits, the good seeds, and also water them, then they will grow strong. And a beautiful story in the middle of like chaos. And I thank you very much, Kate. Okay, so you have prepared yourself by lighting candles. Maybe we should do the same here, Michael. Will you assist me in doing that?
Yeah.
And okay, so in 20 minutes we will go into what is called Earth Hour, and I don't know, is it celebrated all over the world? Anyone knows?
Yes, it should be. It's one of those things that are trying to be a global thing.
Yeah, I just saw a video. They shut down the big towers in Shanghai and shut down the Twin Tower in Kuala Lumpur from that video. I don't know. Sweden is supposed to be a forerunner in everything Earth and environmental, and I haven't heard any story for many years that Sweden even considers putting something out here. So we're lagging behind for what. This is a symbolic act. It's a ritual, and we lack both symbols and rituals in our society. It's not about, some people say, saving electricity for an hour. It has nothing to do with it. This is a ritual and a symbolic act that tells that we care. And that was lacking in society. We care too little.
So time to caring. Time for caring.
I have a small reflection when it comes to that. I wonder if the Earth Hour is synchronized so that we will do it at the same time, or if it follows the same hour on each in each country, in each time zone, which means that you would be able to see like a wave of closed candles if you look outside from the Earth.
Yeah, it's a wave like New Year's Eve. So it's at 8:30 in every country.
If you look from the outside perspective, looking down on Earth, you would see like a ribbon that closes down if everybody did it. That could be really, really awesome to watch.
That would be a very cool movie from the International Space Station if we actually did it. Because if you have seen the movies from when the cities light up everything on Earth, that would be very visible from space if we did it for real. And a very strong symbolic act.
Aren't they circumnavigating the Earth in like 90 minutes or so, something like that?
Yeah,
so they every 1.5 hours they have made one circle. They could do this Earth Hour for an entire day, 24 hours more or less. Very interesting.
Earth Day. Yeah, and I'm also thinking of what you mentioned here about symbols, and the Western world, we're lacking rituals and symbols, and the ones we have, they are all connected to certain belief systems, and as the predominant belief system right now is the machine metaphor. So that hasn't got any.
And shopping.
And shopping, that's
all our rituals are connected to shopping.
Yeah. So then I'm thinking of a symbolic act like this, what it really means, and as we in the Western world, we tend to see symbols as a representation of something, but the thing is that a symbol, for me at least, it's not only the representation that it wants to represent, it's also what it really is. Something is happening at your place, right? What is happening? There's...
You never know when you have dogs.
No, okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah, so what I was starting the story about symbols is that it's not only what it's supposed to represent, it also is what it is. So Earth Hour is the hour where we not only celebrate Earth, it's like Earth as an entity, and it has its own consciousness or something like that. And then of course it's also in the eye of the beholder, so there's a potential in the symbol to be anything. And I really love that. So so what is happening with the dog? Please tell us.
Yeah, what was happening? There was some drama?
No, I think they think maybe they heard you outside, and they were like, "Someone's here!
Somebody's coming."
So I don't know if we could go a little bit stepwise, because we are like bathing in sun in light here. So I will start here to while the rest of you talk to each other. I will just go and see if I can turn down a little bit of the light and see what happens. So tell me a little about what is going to happen during the next coming hour for the four of you.
The four of us, I guess we're going to eat something. I think, and it will turn into one of those cozy dinners that we didn't expect for today. So it's actually like a gift because this. I got a phone call from Stella earlier today to see if we could join this, but it was quite recently, which is a very good thing because that made us also to halt a little bit and to think and to start feeling a little bit more. And now we're going to eat in light of the candles and in each other's company. So I'm looking forward to that this coming hour.
Yeah, and we are supposed also to eat during the Earth Hour, so we have lightened up the barbecue also, so we can cook on the barbecue. Right now we turn down the light here, so we have like it's a little bit, I don't know if you can see that on your screen, but but what is broadcasted is like it's getting darker. but one of us is still bathing in light here, and that is you, Michael. So I will turn off more lights in a while, but right now you're at least a little bit brighter than the rest of us here. So okay. So what I'm thinking of is, I don't know how to say this, but what has Earth given you? I mean, you talked about food on the table, and I was talking about myself as a part of this universe and a part of the world. But what would you say? What have Earth given you in short 2 or 3 words? What do you say? Can we even talk about it like that?
I mean, for me, it's like life. Everything is Mother Earth in a way. I mean, I wouldn't be here or anything like that if, it's so much, I think.
So what comes up into me when you say that is, it's more like another question, not for you, Victoria, but for all of us, that if that what you say is true, which it is, I believe, then how do we think about that in a day-to-day life? Do we need to have an Earth hour to reflect on it? I mean, I don't reflect on that on a daily basis, I would say. How can we do that? Because it's a huge insight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we daily and weekly and monthly rituals that celebrate life. They're so lacking in our society. We take life and our artificial cities for granted. That is almost the empty of life as we know it elsewhere before we had cities.
But at the same time, that's our nature.
Yeah, but at the same time, there's so much life in the city if we use the human term.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That if we exclude ourselves, then it's artificial.
Yeah.
But if we include ourselves into the world, then it's all natural.
Yeah.
And that's interesting. Really interesting. I really love that, Victoria. I mean, Mother Earth. Maybe that's because we have been in her womb once, or still are.
Yeah.
Oh, and still are.
And still are.
And still are. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and still are. Yeah. So we have another 10-12 minutes before we're closing down everything and honor this Earth hour by shutting down all the systems and so on. And what I'm thinking of is a little bit where Richard started out when he checked in, and about how we treat the earth and soil and all this fantastic place, the whole fantastic place we call Earth.
Yeah, exactly. What I'm thinking of, I hear people saying like the Earth will be fine, we humans will be not. But when they say Earth, they mean the planet. When we actually talk about Earth, we mean the thin layer of the biosphere. The core of the Earth is very, very strange and very foreign to us. So we mean the atmosphere, the oceans, and the soil. Or in some cases, like if you dig a deep hole and go mining for minerals, but mostly the soil, the seas, and the atmosphere where we live. That is Earth to us, but that is where we refer to the biosphere. But that is as sacred as it should be, because this is the unique part of Earth. There are planets everywhere, but there's only one biosphere. What that we know of.
That we know of, yeah. And it's really.
And the biosphere won't be fine if we fuck it up.
No, that's right. And again, I believe that we as humans are essential in this creation in some sense. I mean, either you go for like a metaphysical description as a religion or any spiritual exercise or experience, but I will also say it doesn't take much to actually realize that an environment can't exist without someone to whom it is an environment. So even if we are really science-based without any spirituality at all, even then, in that very stripped down universe, it still connects, I believe. I mean, what if we have an environment without ourselves? Then it's not like a word even. It doesn't create any meaning. So okay, so what I'm thinking of here is that maybe someone else want to say something about what has Mother Earth given you as a person or as a human being. I can start a little bit more there because I'm thinking of even such a simple thing as this event. I mean, from the perspective you gave us, Victoria. I mean, your life and everything, all down to this specific little event, which I believe is also fantastic. I mean, I've never met Evelina before. Kate, you're also new to me, and this is the first time you visit Sweden, or and your story and our stories, they all come into essence in this specific moment, and that is also given by Mother Earth. I mean, who can even come up with such an idea? That's so unique. A really unique idea. I mean, just coming up with it. Yeah.
Our dogs agree, I think.
The dogs agree, yeah.
Yeah.
And very often we lack the perspective of other beings. We put the human being as something above, as the crown of creation or something like that, and then we're actually trembling on ourselves, because if we would have been the crown of evolution and creation, then there is nothing more else to learn.
Yeah.
That's also interesting. Now you get yourself some food there, right? What did you serve, Rikard?
You can take that, and I will go get some things to put it up
Yeah,
there.
okay.
So
Today we have chicken with a nice, what's it called? Sausage. Yeah, absolutely. The sausage also. We have some kind of wild boar sausage also. And to that we have potato and a garlic sauce and some salad.
Sounds fantastic. We haven't come that far yet here, so but we're going to have Beyond Burgers. You know those Beyond Meat. Have you tried those out sometimes? At some point? It's like a plant-based stuff or something.
It's gonna be my first time.
You're going to do your first time, yeah. It came into my world a couple of years ago when my son came home and he wanted to be a vegetarian. It lasted for a couple of months, but during that time period I experienced a lot of new tastes and a lot of new experiences, and Beyond was one of them, and it's actually better than the normal hamburger. So why go back to
It's
meat?
all about the seasoning anyway.
Yeah.
did you know, Stellan, that Beyond Meat, the company that is behind Beyond Burgers, they actually started their first store in Malmö, in Sweden. I think it was around 2011, 2012, something like that. Because I read about it while I was living in Switzerland. And at one point I traveled to Malmö and tried to find it, so just to see what it was all about. It's been around for quite some time now. It's interesting that you start to also experience those things and try to explore other options.
Yeah, and of course when this happened, it's like, I think it was like 5 years ago, and my son was around 9-10 years or something like that. And what can you say as a parent when your kid coming home and wants to try out to be a vegetarian? You have to try it out yourself. That's and of course there are different experiences, and I'm not a vegetarian, but I very often eat vegetarian food. And in this case, it's better than the meat option, and that's interesting in itself.
one interesting thing with this is that, as I think, is that almost all seasoning, even if you do barbecue with meat and that kind of stuff, the seasoning, the taste of it is actually coming mostly from vegetables. Yeah, but seasoning and like you have garlic,
Herbs, and herbs and so on. Yeah.
Seasoning and so on. It's not the meat itself. Usually, it's a part of it, but most of the taste in the palate is coming from not from the animal kingdom in that sense.
Okay, so then a question: what is your favorite meal then? Your favorite dish? So let's go around the table before we close down, because in 4.5 minutes or something we're going to close down in 4 minutes. So what is your favorite, Evelina? Your favorite dish?
Oh, such a hard question. There's so many. It's not like a meal per se, but my favorite is when you have a lot of small dishes.
Tapas or something like that.
From many things.
Yeah.
A smorgasbord or a tapas or something.
Yeah.
That's smorgasbord.
Yes, exactly.
And Kate, what is your favorite?
Oh, for me, for today, it's carrot cake. I just ate this cake twice today. It was so delicious.
That's also a meal. And let nobody say otherwise.
No, that's right. Okay, so what do you say, Michael?
Easily for me, mashed potatoes with like usually fish, so some kind of fish, but mashed potatoes is the meal for me.
Okay. And so Victoria then?
Oh my God, it's so hard.
But you have had some at least 1 minute to think. I mean,
I know.
This is a basic human question. Anyone should know this.
But one thing that came to mind, I really, really love pesto. So kind of like a pasta pesto. I can really enjoy that one.
I can go next, and my favorite meal is actually a concept. It's called breakfast. And extra everything. Eggs and buns and some yogurt and juice and coffee, and that's my favorite. And Richard?
Yeah, I'm really into homemade stuff. So that's also the concept for me, trying out other foods, other people's food and so on.
Yeah,
I also like when there's a bit of acidity. I mean, some sour tint to it, if you have the salad or some marinade or something like that. But if I have to choose one kitchen, I think actually it would be the Middle East, where you have a lot of vegetarian food. You have the hummus, you have the baba ganoush, and sorry for not maybe pronouncing it correctly, but that's what we're really looking forward. Not to say the least, the dolma and everything like that.
Now we're actually taking
1 minute.
1 minute, so we're taking down all the light here. Maybe you should do the same.
Yes, we close it down.
Yeah. Oh wow, you have like. I can do that. I do like this.
We're professional Earth Hours.
Professional Earth Hours.
Yeah, and we really now we can see you, but maybe I can just go and change this for a while, and we do like the exposure, white balance, and something like that.
Yeah, there we have.
And then I will take this also out. Why didn't that? Okay, so I just go run around here and
no
get
stress.
rid of the rest.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I'm there. I'm working on
go.
it. Working on
We
it.
can have a discussion about that later, Stellan.
Yeah.
I rent out my services.
15 seconds.
Okay, and shall we say thank you, Mother Earth, and bye to everyone.
Yeah.
And we're closing down the stream as it ends here. And
Yeah.